How's it going, YouTube? Jamie the Kid00 here, and I'm really sorry for how long I've been gone. I think it's been almost 2 weeks since I last posted a video. I've just been really swamped with work, and I haven't really been feeling the drive so much to produce YouTube videos recently. I don't know, I like this format. I like the fact that we've come down from Dragon Ruler format for the first time in ages, but I'm just really not feeling this format. I don't know, I haven't been enjoying it too much, so I do have to apologise for my absence. I'm back. I did miss the Legacy of the Valiant sneak peek, so there are almost no Legacy of the Valiant cards in this deck, and I don't have much to talk about Legacy of the Valiant wise, but as soon as I'm able to get my hands on some Legacy of the Valiant product, or any of the key cards I'm actually able to talk about, I will gladly be doing discussion videos on those if I am able to. But until then, I'm afraid you're going to have to deal with my usual deck profile segments, and this is going to be the usual, well, the usual, but kind of put to the side a bit, tournament diary segment. And I'm going to be doing a tournament diary on Mermail. I wanted to go to my locals and play something that I knew, something that I was going to have fun with, something that I'm just regularly consistent with, so I wanted to go with Mermail because it's just a deck that I really like. I built it with with one of the new cards in mind, and with some of my favourite cards to play in the deck in mind. I wanted to go back to the roots, but go back to the Mermail deck I really enjoyed playing, and that version was Undine Mermail. So that is the version that I played for today. I ended up coming second in Swiss. We only play Swiss, there's locals in Wales. We don't play top 8. I took second place, losing in the finals to Bujin, which was not a very pleasant game. Bujin are an unpleasant deck to play against, but it was against my friend Joe Uzumaki Kunai 1, whose YouTube channel you should check out. He has a completed Bujin build. I'm not sure if he's posted a version of it yet, but you should really check him out. He needs more subscribers than he actually has. Please go give Uzumaki Kunai 1 a look. So, we're going to carry on into the list. For the big guys, we play one Mermail Abyss lead. He's still in here as the usual muscle guy. You still got to have the 2700 Mermail Abyss lead. There's just no reason why you shouldn't be playing him. In the Undine Mermail variant, I like to play 2 copies of Mermail Abyss Megalo. Megalo at 3 in the Undine variant, in my opinion, is far too many, because you always have access to him through the Dragoons play, and if you've used your Dragoons, you should have already gone through the Megalo play. So I don't know how I can really explain it, but playing 3 just clumps way too hard in an Undine-based variant, so I think that playing 2 is the perfect number in this, and it never bit me in the ass today. 3 Mermail Abyss Teus. I always saw this in 2s. I always see this in 2s. Like every tournament report I do, all I ever talk about is seeing Abyss Teus in 2s. But that was the case again. I guess I'll just have to deal with it. It's an incredibly good card, really good in tandem with Tidal. But I really liked Teus in that regard. I then played 3 copies of Mermail Abyss Lint. I'm saying Abyss Dine. Christ, I'm not playing Dine. Sorry, my phone was saying I had 20% battery remaining, so I've got to hurry this up already. 3 copies of Lind. Lind is just way too good, as you can tell. As per my usual repertoire, as per my usual reputation when I'm on here, I've never slept before I make a video, so I'm always really tired. 2 copies of Abyss Gund. I was playing 3. I was testing 3 on Dueler Network, and I kind of liked them, but I prefer 3 in Mono Mermail. I like 2 in Undine because it's a little bit less valid when you're not making as many power pushes, so you don't really want the guns as much. Then I play 3 copies of Mermail Abyss Pike, because Mermail Abyss Pike is incredible, especially in the Undine variant, because it gets you to your Undines, which a lot of the time you kind of want to get to as fast as possible to reduce the risk of you drawing controllers. The one Abyss Turge, this card is, and always will be, incredible. I love Abyss Turge, just for getting Divas back. Divas and Infantry's back, but it's also pretty cool with the Undines. For the Atlantean engine, I played the full complement as per usual. I played the 1 Dragoons, the 3 Atlantean Marksmen, and the 3 Heavy Infantry. While I understand that some builds have been lowering in their numbers of Heavy Infantry, I still stand by it being a very effective card. And I understand that they were also making meta calls for major events. My locals is not a major event. I like to have 3 Heavy Infantry to deal with whatever may come my way, whatever rogue picks may come my way. So they are in there for that specific reason. And then for the non-Mermail Atlantean stuff, I played the 1 Diva. Of course, you have to play the Diva in my opinion. I understand that it is susceptible to Veiler and Maxi, but it allows so many good pushes. The very fact that this card makes me do Lauren is the reason why I don't want to cut it. Do Lauren in and of itself is reason enough for me to play Diva. So I love the card. I love the card so much. And I mean, it baited out so many Veilers where I just went Diva, summon Diva, it gets Veilered, I activate Sphere, get Pike, make Lauren put the Sphere back in hand, like... And I don't really lose anything from that. I then played the one title because title's at 1, but we still got to play the one title. It was incredible. I kind of wish I'd mained Foolish Burial or played LVAL Chain because I really wish I could put title online a bit easier, but in the events where I really needed title, I did have access to it through the 3 copies of Gen X Undine that I did play in the deck. Sorry if you can hear any chatter in the background, by the way, guys. I think my flatmates are in the hallway talking, so sorry about any disruption. Undine, I absolutely love. I've always loved playing Undine. It's just, it is a slower variant of the deck than the Aquaspira deck, so I did try to account for that, try to give myself a little bit more protection, a little bit more of a plus engine. I do really enjoy playing Undine. I wish it was a faster variant, but the only way I could make it faster was by making it 50 cards and putting in the Aquaspirit, so it was basically making a mono Mermail that played Undine. So the Undines are in there. The bane of my existence today, in all of my DN testing, surprisingly, because DN normally bites me in the arse with its drawing system, the 2 controllers, I always opened 1. Like, you can ask so many of my opponents or so many of the people who watch me, because a lot of my games went into time or ran late, I almost always opened a controller, and almost always it was game 3. So it wasn't a very fun card, and the card in the extra deck I played actually made it live in hand, which is something incredible, which I never thought would happen. I never thought a Gen X controller would be regularly live, but hey, it was made live by a new card. And I then played 2 copies of Tragodia. I wish I could say that I drew this more often. Tragodia is really nice in the Gen X build, in the Undine build, because of the plus. The plus system with Undine just keeps the card good. And whenever you need to deal with a problem that may be in front of the Tragodia, you can summon the Undine. The fact that the Undine puts the controller in hand means that you don't minus from hand, and means this guy's attack stays at what it was. So I really like Trag, but I really wish I drew it more. I drew it twice. Once was under skill drain, so it was useless, and the second time was when I was making a game type push anyway, and the Xyz monster I used it to make got compulsed. So that was the Trags. That is the monster lineup. I believe it's 30 monsters. It may be 31. It may be 32, but it's somewhere around that region. It's definitely more than 30. Just having a look at the rest of the deck. I think it's 30. So for the spells, we played 5, and we cut one of our staples today. I'm playing 1 Allure. I'm not playing any Dark Hole. I'm playing 2 Salvage, because Salvage is incredible in this for putting stuff back in hand, setting up your Mermail, just any of your Mermail pushes. So I absolutely love Salvage in this. And then double Abyss, sorry, what am I talking about? Abyssphere. Double MST. I felt that you have to main MST going into a locals where anyone could be maining any junk that could shut you down. But I chose not to play Dark Hole because on the car ride there, myself and a couple of friends were discussing the validity of the main decked Dark Hole, and I thought, they were talking a lot about how very dead it is going first. And I thought, well, yeah, I actually see that application. So I chose to side it, and I put in one of the traps, which you'll see at the end of my trap lineup instead, just as a Trollsy card, but I wanted to test not having the Dark Hole game 1, and I never suffered for it. So that is something that I will consider further on when I actually play other decks. The validity of Dark Hole in the main, because it means that you just don't get to the cards you need as fast. Like, if you draw on your first turn, it is a blank card. For the trap lineup, we play 6 traps, which is an all-time high for me, I think. I play 3 copies of Abyssphere. Abyssphere is just so good. I swear by this card. Like, I wish I had more than 1 Dularan so I could just keep bouncing this card. It's so, so good. You can get so much advantage off of this card in Dularan, and it's just so good in so many situations as well. If you're attacked, getting the Lind, end phase Linding to get the marksman to kill their back row, you can do so many things with that card. So good, and the hallway phone is ringing now. Fantastic. I'm still gonna talk through it. I'm not gonna be rumbled. I played 2 Raigeki Break, mainly to ditch the dead cards in hand to kind of. If my inconsistent hands hurt me, I felt that the Raigeki Break was going to help me out in that regard. And Gen X Controller is always a great thing to discard for Raigeki Break. So that was that. And then the card I put in was 1 Transmigration of Prophecy. This is a really gnarled up version, but I wanted to play the ulti that I had. Transmigration I put in for putting back controllers, because I really wanted to put back controllers, and Avarice isn't a card anymore. And it was also in here to put back Dragoons that I would Foolish Burial with of course the Undine. So, and that worked. It did fulfill that application quite nicely. It's pretty damn good. I liked Transmigration. I've just punched the tripod. Fantastic. So that was the main. I'm going to move on to the extra. I'm actually not going to show you guys the side. I decided the side is appalling. and it's just not worth talking about. It was just really trollsy techs, like mistakes. I know they're really bad in the deck, but I just wanted to play them because I had them in my binder. So a lot of it you just shouldn't know about it. Like if you have to ask about a side deck, you shouldn't be playing this deck because the side deck should be built to player preference. Also, shout outs for the cool extra deck sleeves from Vanguard, which I have quit now, by the way. Everyone's been asking. I've quit Vanguard. So for the synchros, I played one Armades, which I should have been a Catastor. In the Bujin matchup, this should have been Catastor. This was awful. And it shouldn't be awful in the Bujin matchup because it stops Crane, but this should have been Catastor. Then I played one Dularan. I wish I had two because two Dularan would have been stunning today. One Gungnir, which won me a game, so Gungnir was made. 10% battery remaining. One Black Rose Dragon. There were situations in which I could have made this, but I didn't, so I didn't make Black Rose. I'll save this guy for last. One Star Eater, which I just played because there were so many situations on Dueling Network where I had Diva, Megalo, and I felt like Star Eater was a good play by going Diva, get Infantry, and then summon Megalo and make this, or summon Teus and make this. I never did that. I never did that today, but I had the space in the extra deck, I guess. But this should have been Catastor. And then the final card I want to talk about is Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree, or whatever that's his name in English. I can't even remember his name in Japanese. He's the new generic level 10 synchro in Legacy the Valiant that I had to beg my friends to borrow because I didn't have any cards from the new set. And he's pretty cool. If you can't read it, which you should be able to because this is 1080p. This face-up card on the field cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects except during your main phase 2. He's a 3100 body with 1900 defense, and he's makeable with one tuner and one or more non-tuner monsters. That basically means you can make this with any of your 7s, so Tidal, Teus, or any of your big Mermails, and a controller, which makes the controllers live. So he was in there. I'd love to say he was good today, but I summoned him 3 times. 2 times he got warninged, and 1 time he got Mirror Forced. So I'd love to say I managed to test this guy a bit more, but he's still a big theory card in my mind, but he's good in the Undine Mermail variant, in my opinion. So I really liked it, and it's what kept my controllers live. Then for the Xyzes, which is again another catastrophe, but my extra decks usually are because I just play, for locals, I just play extra decks of the cards that I want to have fun with at the time, so they're usually pretty bad. So I played one Kappa. Kappa is just stupid in this deck. Diva lets you do silly things with Kappa. Leviathan Dragon, you have to play Leviathan Dragon. Because of detaching Marksman all day. Detaching Marksman to kill stuff all day was so good. One Abyss Trite for the, of course, Bahamut Shark, Bahamut High. So play the one Bahamut Shark because he's so good. Bahamut Shark, Abyss Trite won me a game single-handedly, so that was cool. The one Dweller, I actually never made this. I normally make this quite a lot, but I never had the need to make it. So Dweller was a thing. And then we'll move these out of the way for the 7s, which are 2 copies of Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. I almost had a heart attack before today because I couldn't find the second one. I thought someone had stolen it, but it was okay. It was hiding in my Goat Control deck for some reason. So the 2 copies of Draco Sack, which I made today, so I'm glad I bumped up to 2, because I've had some bad events and lost games where I only played 1, so I've taken my friend's advice and played 2 again. The one number 11 Big Eye Grande Occhio, I'm probably butchering that name. And then the one Mermail Abyss Gaios. I made all of these. I made this against Battlin Boxers, this against everything, and then Draco Sack against almost everything. Draco Sack was MVP, but Big Eye put in a lot of work, and so did Gaios. But yeah, guys, I'm not going to be showing the side for obvious reasons. I'll flash the side. I'll be quick about it. It was 2 of this, 2 of this, 3 of these, the Dark Hole, 2 Mistake because I never use them. 2 Debunk, 2 of this, and 1 of this because I couldn't find the rest. It was terrible. Don't net deck it. I recognise it as being awful. Now stare at some tokens while I do an outro. Sorry, I'm pretty tired. I want to get this done, recorded, and go to bed. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This has been my first tournament diary back in a while. I have regionals coming up in about a month, which I'm gonna have no practice for. But hey, everything I've had no practice for, I've topped, and everything I practice for, I don't top. So we'll continue that dumb luck streak, shall we? Yeah, I hope you guys, I've said this before, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. If you're new to the channel, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you've seen Tired Jamie yet again. But once university work is over, I'm definitely going to be getting back onto the channel. So look forward to a good summer of Yu-Gi-Oh! But for now, this format just isn't massively for me, so you're probably going to be hearing a quiet spell for a while. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. I do have a Madolche deck profile lined up. I do have a Pokemon deck profile lined up. So I'll hopefully have those up in the next couple of days. Otherwise, peace out, YouTube. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.